What's up guys, Jeff Cavalier, AthleteNext.com. Today I want to show you how to build a perfect chest with just dumbbells.
Whoa, that's my cue, right? Perfect chest.
Oh boy, I mean improved, yes. Perfect, no.
Oh.
You know what's equally imperfect?
What?
Your facial hair. That's
Okay,
just disturbing.
That's fair. I'll go get back behind the
That's
camera.
a good idea. Listen, perfection obviously is subjective. It's in the eye of the beholder, and I certainly don't have a perfect chest, maybe only in the eyes of my wife. But the fact is there's components to a chest that we all must have. Good upper chest development and lower chest development. And even though you can't directly influence them, the appearance of the inner chest is important as well. I think it all can be achieved with just dumbbells. As a matter of fact, I'm going to prove that to you. 8 things, guys, you can start doing right now to get your chest looking better. All right, first things first, there's one biomechanical advantage that you want to make sure you're not abandoning just because you're using dumbbells. When you're doing a dumbbell bench press, you still need to have leg drive in order to move the most weight possible. So what that means is when your feet are on the floor, as they should be, you want to be pushing as if you're sliding your body up the bench, right? Not just down into the floor, but out as if you were going to extend your leg. And when you do that and drive the dumbbells up, it gives you that counter force to push them up and back. This is really natural when we're talking about a barbell bench press because you have that target to push it back when you want to rack the bar. It doesn't mean that you don't want to do it though when you're using dumbbells just because you don't have that target J-hook there for you. You still want to drive through the feet and push up to maximize the amount of weight that you can lift on the exercise and therefore the amount of gains that you'll get from doing it. All right, tip number 2 when building a perfect chest once again deals with biomechanics, but this time utilizing the dumbbells in your favor. Look, we know when you're using a barbell that your hands are fixed on that one bar and they don't have independent function. But what we get with dumbbells is the opportunity to do something with our hands and more specifically our wrists. And what you want to do if you want to get a better chest contraction is figure out a way to get more relative adduction, right? One of the main functions is to bring your hands closer to each other at the top of any single press. We can do that if we do this, and that is just alter the position of the dumbbell in your hand. Lead with your thumbs rather than with your pinkies. When you do that, you get the effect of bringing your hands closer to each other. You've cleared about 3 or 4 more inches at the top that normally wouldn't be there if the dumbbells were pressed straight up with your knuckles facing the ceiling. These minor tweaks are enough to give you a better chest contraction, and when you add them up rep after rep, you see the gains start to come set after set, workout after workout. Tip number 3 is actually particularly useful for those that want to build their upper chest but feel limited because they don't have access to an incline bench to do it. That's okay. If you have your flat bench and your dumbbells, all you have to do is flip the grip. Perform the underhand grip dumbbell bench press. We know that if we follow the fibers, we can get activation of the area we want. And we know that with the upper chest fibers running down and out, we want to have a position of low to high with our arms when we press. When we get our elbows down and underneath, we can see that we get lower and we have an opportunity to go higher. This will always give you a better activation of the chest. As a matter of fact, only slightly less than the incline bench itself. But guess what? Some people who are delt dominant pressers have more of a problem with the incline bench because as you get higher and higher, of course, you get more and more delt activation to the point where we have primary delt activation when we're completely upright. So if you are a delt dominant presser, you're going to dominate more with your delts as opposed to your chest. You have the opportunity here to get that upper chest activation while still keeping the bench flat just by changing the orientation of the dumbbells in our hands. Tip number 4 introduces the first of 2 techniques that you're going to want to make sure you utilize when you're training your chest with dumbbells, and that is the drop set. We know that the drop set with the dumbbell is much easier to perform than, let's say, stripping plates off of a barbell bench press. As a matter of fact, by the time you're done stripping plates, you probably let 30 seconds go by, which mitigates the entire benefit of the drop set in the first place. We want to be able to take a set to failure with dumbbells, go grab a lighter set with little to no time wasted at all, and get right back into the set again. It's that to and through failure approach. And always remember, you got the ace in the hole, your ability to just drop down to the floor, utilize your own body weight as a resistance, and simply perform a set of push-ups to failure. It's one of my favorite techniques, and it's one that you want to make sure that you're including when you're trying to build your chest bigger, stronger, and better. Tip number 5 is actually the second of those techniques, and it's this one here, and it's called the static dumbbell press. And this is something that I actually covered with Casey Mitchell the last time he was in here, and we were doing our video on how to increase your bench press. What this does is it exposes any unilateral weaknesses that you might have that might get traditionally hidden by a fixed hand placement on a barbell. And we know that if you're looking for that perfect chest development, you got to make sure that you're correcting any of those right and left side imbalances. So by lifting one dumbbell at a time, we're going to be able to do that. So what I do here is I grab my dumbbells and I'm laying back and I start with one up over my head. And the point is I leave it there while I press just the opposite dumbbell down. Now, yes, it does need some core strength to stabilize, as that one dumbbell tends to want to twist you off the bench, but more importantly, it's looking for the equal strength between the right and left sides. At the end, I hold that static press for even just 5 to 6 seconds at the bottom, just in that bottom isometric position. Come up out of it, as I always try to do, utilize that one drop set opportunity by getting down on the floor and hitting some push-ups. Now, what alternative here makes it even more difficult? It's just simply holding that position at the bottom rather than the top. And as you can see here, the chest is working even harder in that bottom position than it would be at the top, and it makes this whole sequence that much more difficult. But the fact is, you still do the same thing. You do as many presses as you can, hold the isometric, and drop into your drop set. All right, tip number 6 actually ushers in the first of 3 chest exercises that I want you to make sure that you're looking at again. Maybe you never tried them, or maybe you forgot about them, but the point is, these are going to provide you with some better gains utilizing just dumbbells. And the first is one that a lot of people don't even look at as a chest exercise. It's the dumbbell pullover. And you wouldn't look at it as a chest exercise if you performed it traditionally with your elbows flared out and you drove the movement with your lats. I'm not asking you to do that. What I want you to do is get your elbows closer to each other and drive it with your upper chest. In other words, try to turn your hands down and in even though they're not moving on the fixed dumbbell, but visualize that as you pull forward to take the lats out and to drive it with that adduction of the upper chest. It's a move that requires a little bit of practice, but as soon as you get it and you feel it, you'll realize just how powerful it is for getting that upper chest carved out even just a little bit more on your way to perfection. The second exercise in this trio is one I want you to try, and it's called the UCV raise. And what it does is it lightens the load, but it allows you to get a better contraction into adduction, which again, we've talked about how important it is when you want overall chest development. So what you do is you set up your incline bench here, or anything that you can slightly lean your body against, and you raise the dumbbell up and across your body. This should look familiar to you. Remember, we talked about with the underhand bench press that you want that low to high position. And you're not just getting low to high, but low to high and across your body, which gives you that great upper chest contraction. Again, not one you're going to load up here. You're looking for the quality contraction, but it's not always about loading up when you're looking for better chest development. It's about getting good quality contractions rep after rep, and again, accumulating them workout after workout. Now, that said, we don't always have to go light when we're looking for better gains just because we're looking for better contractions. We still know the benefits of loading up, and an exercise I think people don't load up often enough on is actually the chest fly. And for those that think I would advocate loading up on a chest fly and that being dangerous, I do, because I prefer to do it down here on the floor safely as a floor fly. You see, when we get in this position here, we have the built-in safety net of the floor to protect our shoulders as our arms get down to the sides. We don't have the same luxury when we perform the exercise on a bench, which forces us to have to use light dumbbells in order to perform it. But when we're down on the floor here, we can actually use those heavier dumbbells, take advantage of the eccentric contraction on the chest as we lower those dumbbells to our side, and even there, remember we talked about taking to and through failure, we have the mechanical advantage of being able to bring our elbows into our sides, press up to put ourselves in position for the next eccentric fly. So once we've reached that positive failure, we can go through that failure to better gains. Guys, remember, don't always look at the fly as an exercise that has to be done light. You have the opportunity to do it with heavier weights, and better gains await you when you do. And so there you see, guys, you're not limited to your chest development with dumbbells. As a matter of fact, you can get close to perfect when you utilize the right techniques and the right...
Speaking of perfect,
oh my God.
Listen, I know that my chest isn't perfect. I'm working on it. But you know what is perfect?
No.
This glorious mustache.
Oh my God. Will you get back behind the camera, please?
Oh yeah, that's my job.
Yeah, someone's supposed to be running it. Guys, look, if you're looking for as perfect as you can get, all of our programs are designed to help you get there because we overlook nothing in our training. Head over to athletenext.com and find the program that matches up to your goals right now. In the meantime, if you found the video helpful, leave your comments and thumbs up below. If you like Jesse's mustache, or even if you hate it, make sure you leave a comment there too. And also, guys, if you haven't already done so, click subscribe, turn on your notifications so you never miss a new video when we put one out. All right, guys, see you soon.